Tallahassee. I am student meteorologist Christian Palacio, and I am here with your weather update. It is currently 47 degrees with some partly cloudy skies. And as we look into the next few hours, we got some clouds that is coming out of the area. It's finally clearing up. We're finally starting to see that sun come out. As you can see, the rest of the state of Florida, the peninsula, is starting to see a lot of scattered showers. And tonight is going to be 33 degrees, so it's going to be fairly cold, but it is still going to be clearing up for us. And as we look into tomorrow, it will be 61 degrees with some sunny skies. And what do we have for you tonight? So we have some rain Friday. This weekend, it's still going to be really chilly, and we are going to look into the rest of winter so far. So please tune into FSU weather. Here's what we got for you.
What's going on? I'm meteorologist Tyler Sherrod.
And I am student meteorologist Chandler Pruitt.
So today, Chandler, I was actually a little bit worried. It was staying cloudy for a long time. I thought maybe the sun actually wasn't going to break through, but we saw over the past couple hours finally starting to see some sunshine here in Tallahassee.
That's right. It was nice, nice hump day surprise, that's for sure. That did keep our temperatures down a little bit though.
Yeah, with the cloudy skies throughout the mid-afternoon, didn't heat up quite as much as we might have expected. We only got into those lower 50s, so still a pretty cool day today, but we're going to see things warm up as we go throughout the week. I was just glad to finally, finally see the sun.
Yes.
I haven't seen it since I came back to Tallahassee after winter break.
Absolutely. It's the first sun in 2021 for me. It was nice. It was definitely
now
nice.
We just need those temperatures to start warming up. At least for me, I'm a Florida guy through and through.
I do like the cold temperatures, but I do want the sun with the cold temperatures, or else it's just really miserable.
Exactly. Whenever you have the cloudy skies and the cold temperatures, it really starts to get you down. Whenever the sun comes out, it feels a lot better. So This is the perfect weather to go on a walk or a hike somewhere in Tallahassee or wherever you're at. Really sunny and cool is the optimal temperatures for something like that.
Exactly. I'm talking to one of my friends in Wisconsin, and they always get like the cold weather with the clouds. And I'm like, I don't live in Wisconsin. I don't want to see that here. I want to actually see some sun with my cooler weather.
Yeah, exactly. So luckily this week looking a lot better. Friday, you might see some rain though. And as we go throughout the rest of the show, we're going to talk about that rain coming in on Friday. Plus, we're going to have a sports segment again where I'll go over some of the weather that's going to happen in some upcoming sporting events this week. But for now, I'm going to send things to the wall with Josh.
Thank you guys for that great introduction. It is great to be back in Tallahassee after that cool break. Current temperatures right now, we're seeing 69 down in Miami, up north 54 in Tampa. In Tallahassee right now, we're sitting at 47. Up in Atlanta, we're sitting at 45, and a bit to our west in New Orleans, 56, and north of that in Little Rock, it's 51. For our dew points right now, we're seeing pretty moderate dew points in our area. Towards South Florida, they're a bit higher, 61 degrees, so a bit more muggy because of that rain moving through the area right now. Up towards us in Tallahassee, we're at 40 degrees, a little bit north in Montgomery, 32, and out west in Little Rock, we are at 31. So our winds right now to our west, winds are definitely picked up a little bit, 10 over there in Shreveport, 8 in Little Rock. But fortunately for us, with these cool temperatures, our winds are down a little bit. So we see a little bit less of that wind chill factor. 6 degrees here in Tallahassee. To our south, we've got 3 in Tampa and 9 down at Miami International. Satellite and radar, Florida, for the most part right now, is covered in rainfall. Except for North Florida and the Big Bend region, we're seeing those conditions clear up and those clouds slowly move out of our area into the nighttime hours. But for our friends in Central and South Florida, they're definitely seeing some rainfall and a lot of cloud cover right now. That'll persist through the evening for them. For today's storm outlook, totally clear for Florida and the Big Bend region and most of the southeast. Only we're seeing thunderstorm warnings up here in the South Carolina and North Carolina regions. Over the next 48 hours, you can see all that rainfall clear out of the Florida regions. And right there, you can see that long line of showers. That is going to be our next big cold front. So we're going to see how that's going to operate the next couple days. Friday evening, we're going to see those temperatures definitely cool down as we're on the dry side of that cold front by the evening hours. A little bit to our south, in Orlando, during the evening, you can see the rain showers will be moving through, and down into central and south Florida, they'll be seeing those conditions start to pick up, probably into the Saturday morning. And for tonight's forecast, up to our north, we've got 31 in Montgomery, 31 in Atlanta. Here in Tallahassee, we'll be getting down to the freezing point at 32 degrees. But for us, there will be no rainfall in our area, so we will not be seeing any snow flurries at all. A little bit to our east in Jacksonville, they'll be sitting at 37. Down in central Florida, they'll be in the upper 40s to low 50s. And all the way down south in Miami, they'll be sitting at 61. For tomorrow's forecast, we are going to see temperatures pick up. 63 in Tallahassee. This is way better than we saw today, nearly 20 degrees higher than what we saw our high was today. A little bit to our south, we're going to have 65 in Orlando, 66 in Tampa. Down in Miami, we're going to be sitting at 70. And a bit to our north in the Atlanta region will be at 56. And out in Little Rock will be at 58. And now we are going to pass things off.
Right, yeah, so let's take a look at the local weather here. Currently, temperature is 47 degrees. You can see the nice sunset in the background over Doak Campbell. Absolutely beautiful scenery. It is somewhat cloudy. I wouldn't say mostly cloudy, but it's definitely somewhat cloudy out there. And we have those winds coming from the west-northwest, which is, of course, when you have a cold front sweep through, that's what you usually can expect. Now, when you look out here, you can see that basically those clouds are moving out and to the east. And basically no bad, like the conditions are great here. Now, once you start getting closer to North Florida over in Jacksonville and places like that, we are seeing that rain. Now, let's look at the big overview. We can see that there is that rain in North Florida and in Central Florida and South Florida. But over here in the Big Bend and North Florida region, or West Florida region, we are not seeing any rain, and the clouds are finally clearing out. Now, those current temperatures, we got 40s all around except for in Apalachicola. That's pretty great. That's right around seasonal average. Now, let's look at those dew points. Dew points are also very dry. That came with the cold front as well. So we basically are not having any of those sweaty feelings in our armpits, but we really shouldn't expect that in the wintertime anyway, but it is Florida. Then we have those winds coming out of the west-northwest, just like here in Tallahassee. Now, over the next 24 hours, we can see basically absolutely nothing. Clouds off into the Gulf, but over here in Tallahassee, Bainbridge, Apalachicola even, there's just no clouds in sight. That's great, great change up. Now, over the next 3 days, we can see over in our low for Thursday, we'll see that basically we could get down into 32 to 33 degrees, which means we could see some freezing or some frost on the ground. But then we'll quickly warm back up with the sun coming out. It'll be a great, gorgeous day tomorrow, which we need because Friday we turn around and we have a chance for some rain, about 50% chance for rain, with highs around 60 degrees, but it will, of course, be a little bit more miserable. So the week ahead, we talked about Thursday and Friday. Now, after the rain, we'll cool back down for Saturday and Sunday, temperatures in the 50s. And then when we look at the temperatures for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, they raise back up into the 60 to upper 60s once we get into Wednesday. Now I'll toss things off to Josh at the desk.
Thank you very much, Chandler. So I'm Josh Green.
And I'm Christian Palacio.
And today we're going to be discussing a bit of the climatology we've been seeing in the Tallahassee region, as well as the cold weather that we've experienced in the month of December, what we've seen so far in January, and what will be upcoming in January as well.
Yeah, so in December, there was apparently 8 days that were at or below freezing, which is pretty crazy because apparently there was absolutely no rain or even snow flurries. And I'm sure many Tallahasseans were pretty disappointed in that. What do you think, Josh?
Well, I sure definitely was. Being from South Florida, I would have loved to see some snow flurries. So hopefully in the month of January, we'll maybe possibly see, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Absolutely. And according to last month's lowest temperature, it was 22 degrees. I mean, who could argue that, like, oh, is it actually going to snow? It seems pretty possible, but I guess it didn't happen.
I mean, 10 degrees below the freezing point is pretty crazy for Tallahassee. Even in the December and January months, these are lows that we rarely see. So it's pretty cool to actually see that in our time while we're at Florida State as students.
Yeah, and so far, it's still pretty chilly. We're reaching lows of 30s and 40, or excuse me, yes, the 30s, and our highs are in the 50s. But soon enough, it's going to start warming up within the next couple of weeks or so. And I mean, at least for now, it's still relatively chilly. But honestly, if it's going to be this cold, it should have already snowed.
Oh, I'll tell you that for sure. And those that came out of state from the north, I'm sure you came to Florida State to enjoy that Florida weather. And I know in Tallahassee, it's pretty much like being in Georgia and Alabama. So hopefully in the months of January, we can get to those cooler highs, like in the 50s and 60s, to the points where you can actually go out and enjoy the cool weather, maybe play some golf, get outside, get active with your dogs and such like that.
Yes, of course. So right here for us in North Florida and the Big Bend region, in about the latter half of January, we will start to feel, I guess, more like Central Florida, you can say. We will start to reach the highs of 70s, and our lows will be in the mid-50s, which is pretty nice. I mean, we're getting through winter pretty fast, and then eventually it'll be spring. And I don't know, according to this, we might not have snow at all. But you know what? That's okay.
There's always the hope. There's always the hope. And the nice thing about having consistently warmer temperatures in the winter is that you can look forward to these cold fronts that randomly pop through every once in a while, just like we're going to be seeing on Friday.
Yes, I absolutely love to have the cold front because sometimes it's just nice to have that cool breeze. But now we're going to toss things off to Tyler, who is at the wall.
Thanks, Christian. All throughout our national picture here, things are pretty cool. Once we get into the southern states, a little bit warmer, like in San Antonio, we got 62 degrees right now. Miami, of course, is still warm, 69 degrees, even though that sun's starting to set. And then on the west coast of California, San Francisco and LA are feeling pretty comfortable. They're always going to have those moderate temperatures during the winter. And as we look further north, it's going to be cooler, but not too cool for these areas like North Dakota. Right now, the temperature is 43 degrees. Usually they can get even cooler than that. So not too bad for the north, considering we're in January right now. And dew points all throughout the United States are very low, except for Central and South Florida. Still got some moisture there, and we'll see that there's some rain going on there and a lot of cloudiness, so it makes sense that we got a lot of moisture there. But for the rest of the country, pretty dry for the most part. Even in Montana, where we're actually seeing a front move through and some rainfall as well, they are still experiencing some low dew points there, with the front pushing through some precipitation for the region. For our wind speeds, some noteworthy things to see here. Billings, 25 miles per hour ahead of that cold front there with that westerly wind moving through there. So they're actually having some fairly high wind speeds. And then the central part of the country, we have southerly wind coming around 10 miles per hour. But besides that, some slightly breezy conditions here and there, but nothing else too noteworthy overall. In the southeast and the western central part of the country, seeing some high pressure dominate for the most part. South Florida is, of course, still seeing some rainfall associated with the front from a couple days ago. And then as we move towards the west, we have a low pressure system here and a cold front pushing some rain and snow mix through Billings, Montana, and a warm front pushing up through North Dakota right now. They're seeing some rain there. And Winnipeg in Canada is actually seeing some rain move through as well. But for the rest of our country, pretty dry for the most part, seeing a little bit of cloud coverage, but all of that rain in Montana and Florida right now. Upper level water vapor showing some of those higher cloud tops right over here, the cloudiness in the central United States. And you can see that as well in central Florida. But you can also see where that high pressure is, a little bit less cloud coverage there in the southeast in those portions where it's not raining. For the northeast, they're feeling pretty dreary right now, very cloudy all throughout the New England area, as well as New York and Pennsylvania. And as we move a little bit further west, seeing that rain move through Bismarck, North Dakota, and through South Dakota as well. Cloudy conditions for most of those states. And then moving a little bit further west as well, seeing some snow in the northern parts of Montana and just south of Billings. Depending on where you're at in Montana, it's cold enough to support some snowfall. And then for Florida, definitely not cold enough for any snow here. Just some light showers for the most part, although seeing some yellow spots pop up, so a little bit heavier rainfall in the southwestern portions of Florida. And for today's storm outlook, South Carolina, maybe you guys will see a thunderstorm. But for tonight's forecast, here we go. Going to be in the 30s for most of the country, 20s when you get to Billings. And then for tomorrow's forecast, 50s and 60s for almost everyone except for the north. You guys are going to be in the 30s. Now I'm going to pass things off to Christian with our second local forecast.
Yes, thank you very much, Tyler. All right, now we're going to take a quick look at our almanac. So today's high was 48 degrees and our low was 44, but the average is 63 for the high and 39 for our low. But our record high is 81, that is painstakingly hot for this time of year. But low 8 degrees, that is also awful. But I hope at that time it actually snowed. But I guess I will never know. So, looking at our satellite and radar, we have the rain is just passing by us, and it can be hitting the rest of the peninsula, but right now the clouds are clearing up and it's looking very, very nice. And like I said before, most of the peninsula is going to start seeing there's some light rain on the outskirts of the storms, but as you look in the darker green, the yellow spots, that's going to be some heavier rain. Just as Tyler indicated earlier. And now right here in our area, well, our temperatures are right in the 40s, hovering around the 40s. So it's 47 for us here in Tallahassee, 45 in Quincy and Thomasville. And you see most of our area is starting to clear up. That's something to take a note of. And right now, as it is winter, it's nice, not really that humid. We have 40 degrees for Tallahassee, 39 in Quincy, and 36 in Bainbridge. And so we'd take a look at our wind speed and direction. Very mild wind speeds right now, 6 miles per hour for Tallahassee, 5 in Quincy, and a little bit windier down in Apalachicola. And well, in the next 24 hours, it is absolutely going to be clear all day Thursday pretty much. So it's going to be nice to finally see the sunshine after, I'd probably say, a good couple of weeks. It's been a little down in the dumps. But for tonight's forecast, it's going to be hovering around the 30s, so it's going to be a little bit colder. And if you go walking this evening, make sure you bring a jacket. It's going to be 32 degrees for us here, 32 Quincy and Bainbridge, and it's going to be a little bit warmer along the Gulf Coast with Apalachicola and Caravelle at 39 degrees, as well as St. Mark's at 38 degrees. For tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be all sunny all throughout the region. It's going to be very nice. And we're going to be waking up to some lower 60s, 63 for us here in Tallahassee, 61 in Monticello, and 62 in Madison and Valdosta. For the week ahead, we will be seeing some lower 60s throughout Thursday and Friday. It's going to be rather rainy Friday, and there's going to be a little bit of frost. Pay attention to the frost that's coming up, as Chandler mentioned earlier. And for the lows, it's going to be from anywhere from the lower 30s to the mid 40s for Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. And for Monday and Tuesday, well, it's going to be warming up a little bit for our highs as we get into the lower to mid 60s. But right now, we're going to pass things off to the desk, or Florida. Chandler.
Thank you, Christian. I'm going to be taking over for our sports segment here. Tonight, FSU is playing NC State at home with our star meteorologist here, Harrison Prieto, playing for the FSU basketball team. Tonight, it's going to be 50 degrees and mostly clear for your walk over to the stadium. And then also, FSU playing again on Saturday in the afternoon. It's going to be 49 degrees around the kickoff for that game, sunny. So going to be a pretty nice walk to that game as well if you're planning on going. And then we have some NFL playoff games this weekend. LA Rams versus the Green Bay Packers. That's an afternoon game. It's going to be 33 degrees at Lambeau Field and mostly cloudy. So luckily for the Rams, they do not have to deal with the snow, but they do have an injured Jared Goff at quarterbacks. We'll see if they can really pull off an upset there. Probably not, though. And then we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. It'll be 30 and be some snow flurries. I actually saw a report today from Lamar Jackson saying he's never played in the snow, so this will definitely favor the Buffalo Bills if the snow starts to come down there in Buffalo, New York. Cleveland Browns are going to the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. That's an afternoon game around 4. It'll be 40 degrees and partly cloudy skies for that game. Not much to talk about there. Patrick Mahomes will most likely win the game for the Chiefs, but maybe the Browns can pull off the upset once again. In our final game for Sunday's going to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. This game's in a dome, so the weather's not going to matter all that much, but it will be 53 degrees and mostly sunny skies. We'll see if Tom Brady can come back and finally win against the Saints this year after losing 2 earlier matchups in the year. I'll be rooting for the Buccaneers. Hopefully they can pull off the upset and make it to the NFC Championship game. But now I'm going to pass things off to Chandler with a look at Florida.
Right, yeah. So what about Florida? Well, as is usually the case, we got cooler temperatures up in North Florida, and then we get into Central Florida, we can see the 50s, and then as we get down into South Florida, we got 60s, 69 in Miami. Daggum, I do not want that in the wintertime. But I guess if you live in Miami, you want that. But for the dew points, also the same story. We got that dry air associated with the cold front. It will seep its way down into Central Florida. It won't do so much for the South Florida region. They usually are always in the 60s, 70s, and 80s for dew point. Now let's look at that radar. As is the case for this weather show, we've been talking about the rain leaving the panhandle, going throughout the rest of the peninsula. We can expect some heavy rain in South Florida, but as we get up into Central Florida, it's a little more spotty, and then we get up into the North Florida region, and it's clearing up, and of course, here in the panhandle, we don't have to expect that. Now, we can also see that the clouds are clearing out for Pensacola and Panama City. It's quite enjoyable. I would say it's setting up for a nice day tomorrow. We'll also get to experience that. And then also current temperatures here, or conditions in Jacksonville. You can see that that rain is finally moving out. They can expect a little bit better day tomorrow, less rain. Then you get into Central Florida. You can also see that there's a bit of a spotty showers. You can see a little bit more heavy rain in Tampa and down into Placid Lakes. But for the areas in like Lake Wales, you do not have to expect much, or even in Orlando. Now you get into the South Florida region. Everglades and even Miami are pretty clear from the rain, but once you get up towards Fort Myers, there's a lot of heavy rain there. Now, so let's talk about those conditions. For Miami, over the next 3 days, you can expect 70s, and then chances of rain for tomorrow. Tampa, you can also expect a little bit of rain on Friday. Temperatures kind of roller coaster, go from 60s up to the 70s and then back down to the 60s. And then you can expect the same thing in Orlando. They get basically the same weather as in Tampa. And then you got Jacksonville. They get up into the 60s and then down to the 50s when you get into Saturday. As far as Pensacola goes, we have temperatures will be right around 60 and then fall on Saturday. So tonight's lows, you can expect 40s in the North Florida region, 50s in Central, and then upper 50s in South Florida. And then tomorrow's highs, 60s all around, 70 in South Florida. Now I'll pass things off to Josh.
Thank you very much, Chandler. Here's another great look at Doak Campbell Stadium right now. You can see that sun has already gone down right behind us over here. We are currently sitting at 47 degrees, partly cloudy. We can see the cloud cover clearing out of our area right now, with winds coming out of the west-northwest at 6 miles per hour. Our current temperatures right now here in Tallahassee, we are sitting at 47 degrees, a bit to our north in Quincy, 45, and our friends in Georgia are sitting at 44, 43, and 46 over in Valdosta. Wind speed and direction, you see those winds are coming out of the same direction for most of our viewing area right now. Here in Tallahassee, we're at 6 miles per hour, up in Quincy's at 5, and down there in Apalachicola, it's a bit higher at 8 miles per hour. Satellite and radar, you can see that cloud cover clearing out of the area. Those are those white spots. See, they're moving right into eastern Florida right now. So we'll see those conditions definitely clear up into the evening hours and in tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, which is a very good thing for us, so we can finally see some sun around this place. And down in southeast Florida right now, all of that rain showers are moving through the area. Up into our area right now, we are clearing out, thanks to this high pressure that's kind of pushing that rain showers and cloud cover out of our area. A bit to our west in the Great Plains regions, we can see it's all this cloud cover moving through right now with these two fronts battling each other. And out west in the Pacific region, we'll see clear conditions. So over the next 24 hours, we'll see that cloud cover move out of our area. Clear conditions for the entire viewing area for the Florida Panhandle and for southern Georgia and southern Alabama over there. For tonight, we'll be sitting at 33 degrees, very close to freezing points. It'll be cold and clear as all those clouds have moved out of our area. It'll be a very nice night for a fire. And part of our day part forecast, 9 a.m. tomorrow, we'll have frost, 40 degrees. Those temperatures will continue to rise up into the afternoon at 1 p.m. Sunny, it'll be 57. And into the latter afternoon in the evening at 5 p.m., it'll also still be sunny with those clouds moving out of the area, but now we'll be at 57. Taking a look at our week ahead, tomorrow we'll see a high of 61 with a low of 33. Moving into Friday, we'll see those precipitation chances increase as that cold front starts to move through our area. We've got a 50% chance of rain tomorrow with a high of 62. As for Saturday and Sunday, we've got clear conditions, those dry conditions behind the cold front move into our area with highs in the low 50s and lows in the lower to mid 30s. And into the latter portions of the week in tomorrow, early week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll see a bit partly cloudy conditions with lows in the upper 30s. And now we're going to pass things off to the desk with Christian and Tyler.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, things are looking really great as we go into next week, seeing those highs get back into the mid 60s, and things are actually going to be pretty sunny.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be much more calm weather, and it's going to be nice walking weather, and you know, it's just going to be so nice to finally see the sun. We're going to have actually a few days of seeing the sun because it's just been way too long. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it's going to be great. And one thing I was thinking about, we've been talking about the cold so much on this show. So I was wondering, what are some of the coldest temperatures that you've experienced, whether it's here in
Oh, my
Tallahassee or
goodness.
somewhere else?
Well, I have been to Chicago in the wintertime, and this was back in 2004. So I have felt 15 degrees. What about you?
I went to Nashville a couple of Christmases ago. Things were really cold there. The wind chills were in the negatives.
Oh, my.
The actual temperatures were in the single digits.
Oh,
Unfortunately, there was no rain at all. It was just a very dry, cold there in Tennessee. So I got to experience like the bitter cold, but it wasn't fun at all. No winter wonderland to really accompany that there.
Oh, that's definitely some bitter cold. Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine what it's like to have wind chill temperatures, wind chill advisories all along. But according to our week ahead, at least we are going to see some sunny skies in the meantime. And, well, those lows are still going to be hovering in the higher 30s. So keep that in mind because don't let the warmer temperatures during the day fool you. But please follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU weather.
You can also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU weather as well.
And we absolutely love it when you guys watch us on YouTube. So please watch us live on YouTube.
And then you can also follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. We try to post on there as much as possible with some cool weather photos that some of us here at FSU Weather have encountered, or maybe some sunsets. Any sort of nature photos we try and post on there as much as possible.
Yes, but yeah, in the meantime, thank you all for tuning in for us this evening. I am student meteorologist Christian Palacio.
And I'm meteorologist Tyler Sherrod. Have a great night, everyone.